How's it going, guys? Sal Natali here with Film Life, and today we're going to go over how to create text and basic ways of changing it. Okay, let's get started with making text. First, we're going to go to the text tab. Hopefully that makes sense to everyone, keep it simple so far. This part took me a while to figure out. I actually had to do some Googling the first time I wanted to make text with the new Adobe upgrades. It used to be different in the past. This is how we do it as of late January 2018. You're going to go over to this little film strip with a T on it that will prompt a new window into making text. We can put the title of what we want the text file to be. We'll go sample text. It already knows the dimensions and the frame rate of our timeline here, and we can just hit OK. Now, let me close our footage. It puts our text file here along with the rest of our media. We can then move it over into our timeline. You can start editing up here. If you lose the place to modify this text in the top here, you can double click on it or move over to the tab of the text selected. Then you'll be able to go into it and start making your text. If you highlight it just like any other program, even like Word, you'll be able to then modify it. So if we come onto the side, we can then pick pre-samples that are there ready for us. We'll take this for now. Close this. Here are your properties. You can change the opacity and make it very light, heavy. You can change its positioning in the X and Y position, a bunch of other things to play around with and see how you want your text to look. This is part of the creative side of editing and filmmaking. So even when you know what everything does, you'll still be playing around with it to change it based on what looks good with your film. If you close your title properties, you'll be able to go down to title tools, and then you'll have access to a few more tools. You also have more tools here along the top, so you can have your italicize, your underline. You can change the size. It's not on a 0.12 font type thing like a Word document. It is based off of 100%, and then you can increase and decrease the size off of that. You have your lettering spacing, so you can stretch out your letters however much you desire. Double clicking on it will give you access to being able to type on your text again, and this will adjust the line spacing of the text. You have your standard left alignment, center alignment, and right alignment. One last thing that bugs me a bit that took me a little bit to find, and leave a comment in the description if you find an easier way of doing this, is how to align your text vertically and horizontally in your frame. Basically, the way I found to do this was leave your text tab here. So I usually go back to editing or assembly. And then when you double click on your text, it'll bring up a different form of the text box. And then here you'll have your center alignments. So you can center horizontally and vertically based on what you need. Another way to make text is go to File, New, and then Legacy Text. Then you'll be able to make it, I'll just leave this one title 2. It'll then pop up the text window without having it to go into the Titles tab. In the Titles tab, you can toggle the background. It doesn't mean much now because there's nothing under it, but your image will show up here if your text is over an image. And that'll sometimes get a little confusing when you're typing over an image based on what color your image and text is while you're first setting up the text. Let's make another sample like end credits. If you want to change this like end credits and make it so it's not just a still credit, you can then click on this little thing, which will give you a roll crawl options tab. There you can change it from still to roll or a crawl. I'll go to roll. We can have it start off screen and end on screen. Hit OK. Close this out. Bring title 2 over. And then when we play it, the credits roll up. So that's going to be all for this video, just a basic look on creating and modifying text. If you liked this video, please hit the like button down below. It means a lot. Also, feel free to check out one of our other videos, and also please consider subscribing. Thanks.